Louis. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
No. I am your father.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
You're listening to After the Ending, the only film podcast where we tell you what happens after the ending of your favorite films. And now, here are your hosts, Mike Spring and Phil Edwards.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to After the Ending. I am Mike Spring.
And I'm Phil Edwards.
And it's been a while since we've said that, huh, Phil?
Yeah, we decided to take a little break, which,
turned into a lot of
plans. Yeah. World events got in the way.
Yeah, we were on hiatus for a couple months because of some things, and then lo and behold, a pandemic broke out and threw the world into chaos. And guess what? That got tricky for us. So we ended up taking a slightly longer break than planned. But good news, now we are back, and we're back in a new format. We decided to give this whole video thing a try. Seems like the YouTube is here to stick around, right, Phil?
Yeah, it's not just a passing fad.
Right.
People do seem to like it. So people can now have our glorious faces.
Yeah, yes. I don't know how I feel about that yet. But so we're trying this out. It's a new thing for us. I want to be very upfront about that. This is new for us. We're using StreamYard. It's really cool technology. We get to be on camera together. We're also going to transpose this into an audio format. So those of you who like listening to a podcast will still be able to do that. But we thought, let's try this video thing. It's also being broadcast live, so people can post comments. We can share them on the screen. We can talk about them. We can react to them, stuff like that. So we're hoping that might give us a little added fun component to this as well. But I will say, with that in mind, please bear with us as this is new. And so if there are any awkward moments or glitches or technology things or anything like that, cut us a little slack because we haven't done the video thing before. We got pretty darn good at doing the audio thing for a couple of years.
True. We thought we'd make it nice and easy on ourselves for the return. Yeah,
right.
On video, we'll do it live.
Yeah, right. Nothing. What could go wrong with live video? I mean, probably nothing, right?
Well, it's early, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of the pandemic as well means I've still got my pandemic hair, and beard cut. So when it's not going to cut, it's just there. So
you do look like a proper film guru, though. Like, you definitely look like the guy. Like, if I see you and I think, if I want to know about obscure movies, that's the kind of guy I'm going to ask.
That's very true, because there's not many people in the film business or film critics and things like that who do have beards, glasses, and look like me. So
right, exactly.
Yeah. I know you'd be hard pushed to pick me out.
Right. So I do want to talk a little bit, before we get into our After the Ending, I do want to talk a little bit about our new format too, not just the video, but how we're doing kind of an A plot and a B plot, or a main plot and a subplot episode. We're kind of breaking each full hour-long episode into 2 half hours. So we're going to do the first half hour and then come right back for the second half hour. But we're going to break them up because, obviously some people are going to watch live. A lot of people are going to watch afterwards on YouTube or on our Facebook channels and things like that. So we wanted to make these a little bit more digest-sized episodes. And so we thought we'd kind of cater to two audiences a little bit, right? So our A episodes, our A plots, if you will, are going to be our After the Ending. And then we're going to talk about some kind of current movie topic or movie-related thing, or maybe a couple of movie-related things. We got a big one today we're going to talk about. I'll get to that in a minute. And then our B-plot episode is going to be our top 5 lists. So we're going to do one of those every episode now, because those were very, very popular from our mini episodes before.
Yeah.
And we're going to do an ATE recommends, where Phil and I will share things we're into right now. Could be movies, could be books, comics, music, TV shows, you name it.
Yeah, the crap that we like.
Yeah, stuff that we like, exactly. So, Phil, do you want to tell people what's on deck for today's A episode and B, or A plot and B plot episodes?
Yeah, the A plots, we're going to be going after the ending of just one film. That's what we're going to be doing going forward. This one is going to be Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Maybe a bit divisive for certain people, but there we go. We'll also be talking about the recent Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League movie, which hits. Was it last week? Yeah, that was all 4 hours of it. That's out there. And then for the B plots, we're going to be talking about our top 5 things that we binged during the pandemic lockdown. and then we'll have our recommendations where it's going to be a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, there you go. So if you're watching live, please feel free to stick around for the whole thing. We'll take a very quick break between the A plot and the B plot episodes, just so we can kind of cut and then come back in. But meanwhile, Phil, why don't we go ahead and get started?
Well, but before that, just for anybody who's new to the channel, to this thing, you may have realized Mike and myself have different accents. So just to point out to anybody new here, Mike is on one side of the Atlantic and I'm on the other. And thanks to the wonders of the internet, we are able to do this, even though it's quite late here and it's mid-afternoon for Mike. But just to let you know, just in case you're wondering where we are in the world. But I'm near Liverpool and Mike is upstate New York.
Upstate New York, yep. So New York, but not New York City. Yeah. I always like to clarify that.
Yeah, very true.
All right, so we changed up the format of our After the Endings a little bit too. Also, I think we've streamlined them a little bit. We're just going to kind of each share our ending. They're a little bit shorter, a little more concise now, and then we'll kind of talk about them and see what we think and if we can have a little fun with them. But so Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Nope, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we need to tell people anything about it, Phil?
Well, if you've seen the film, you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, to try and describe it.
Yeah, no.
It's Star Wars, kind of Star Warsy, maybe.
Yeah,
depends what you think of it. But anyway, we're doing. We're going to see what happens at the end of that film. Basically, at the end of the Disney sequel trilogy. Yeah.
Yes, there you go. All right. Do you want to kick it off? Or you want me to kick it off?
Well, I'll let you go first on this one.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Okay, so here we go. After the ending of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. So, with the First Order destroyed, the galaxy enters into a new era of peace and prosperity. Now, I do have to make an aside, and we're going to go a little looser with our format, so don't mind us if we take asides. But you know, Phil, I'm a sucker for a happy ending, right? So I thought I kind of had to come back after our big, long hiatus with, like, the happiest of happy endings, right? Like, you have to know this is not going to be one of my, like, dark, twisted endings. It's a classic, like, happy ending. So the galaxy enters into a new era of peace and prosperity. Rey, having learned from Luke's mistakes of thinking she can train other Jedi, is content just to be a Jedi Knight. She travels throughout the galaxy, acting as a peacekeeper for the New Republic when conflict rises up. As she travels in the Millennium Falcon with Chewbacca as her co-pilot and R2-D2 and C-3PO as her trusted aides, she makes time to occasionally visit with Finn and Poe Dameron. Poe has tempered his recklessness and become a general, while Finn has gone on to become a senator in the New Republic, becoming a powerful force for good in the universe. In time, other Jedi begin to emerge from hiding. Some are wise and old, having been hidden since Palpatine enacted Order 66, while others are new, younger generation of Jedi, Force sensitives who have been trained in secret by the surviving hidden Jedi. In just a decade or two, the Jedi Order has been rebuilt. It's a fraction of the size that it was in the time of the High Republic, but it's growing. Many years later, Rey leaves the peacekeeping work to the younger Jedi and returns to Coruscant to head up the Jedi Council. Once a week, she and Finn and Poe meet for lunch and share stories of their lives' work establishing a new peace in the galaxy. And that's my ending.
Very good. A happy ending. All is well and good. No stars, no wars.
Not yet. Not this time. I figured, I'll leave that to you.
Okay. No, well, actually, mine's I suppose is a happy ending. It's a bit different, but yeah. Okay, mine. We fade back in, and it's Rey's voice going, "So what did you think of that then?" And Grogu, he's just looking there. He's sipping on his soup or whatever it is, a stew or eating a frog. He looks and he considers it, and he looks around the Jedi Academy where they all sat in there, and he does, because he's now talking, because it's a good few years after Mandalorian, but he goes for first draft, it wasn't too bad. Started strong, lost it quite a bit in the middle, and I could see you trying to correct it, in the last third, but definitely potential. But I don't know why you used all the names of your students. Finn and Poe, they're just over there, and Ben Solo, we've got a class with him later on. I don't know. I think he might have a bit of a crush on him, so maybe change that round. It's all a bit weird. But anyway, the chime went for training, and they rushed to the training call. They were joined by Finn, Poe, another Jedi, whose names I forget, but lots of different aliens. Because as we all know, we've all known all the people who like Star Wars. Right. People can have Jedi powers no matter where they come from, what race, whatever age, what family line. Anybody can be a Jedi, as long as they have a high midichlorian I believe, but that keeps getting pushed out.
We don't do midichlorians.
That's a whole other kettle of fish. But anyway, they get there where they see Luke and his wife, Mara Jade, but now Mara Skywalker, discussing the next class. And Ben Solo is over in one corner as well, excited, as he knows Han and Leia and Chewbacca are due later in the Millennium Falcon. And training begins, and the new order of the Jedi Knights begins once again. And then we fade into whatever adventures they have next.
I like it. So good. So in your ending, Han Solo is still alive, which makes me very happy.
Yeah. That's it. It could have gone way more into detail, but that's what it is. It was all a story that Rey decided to tell.
I like it. I like it's got a meta feel to it. And I like bringing Baby Yoda in too, which is always
yeah.
Good.
Well, he was in his 50s in Mandalorian, so
right.
He's got to be about 70 odd, I reckon.
I did like how he obviously has a much better grasp of the English language than Yoda does, though. He just talks normally.
That's it. Yeah, none of that. There we go.
All right, we have a viewer comment from Jason. He says, "If you've seen the film, you've seen it. Those are some words."
He's a wise man for quoting me, and I appreciate that, Jason. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, listen. We don't mess around here. We're about economy on After the Ending, right? So if you've seen it, you've seen it. Yeah. What else do you need to know?
And if you liked it, that's great. If you didn't like it, that's great. If you were, you're probably in the majority. But there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. What I mean, let's talk quickly because we never did get to talk about it. But when we went on hiatus, I don't think. Maybe we did. I don't know. But we'll keep it short. What did you think of Rise of Skywalker?
Messy. Tried to introduce too many things. Well, I think both of them. I think The Last Jedi tried to change things from Force Awakens, and then I think Rise of Skywalker tried to change things from The Last Jedi, and then finish off some of the things that were raised in Force Awakens. I just thought it was messy. Mm-hmm. Messed up some other things again, like the whole skipping light speed stuff, and
right.
It's all of them had the potential. There were all the germs there for something really good, something good. But if they'd all just sat around and gone, here's the beginning of the trilogy, and here's where we want to get the end of the trilogy, and we're going to plan out what happens in between.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
Other videos of people like us talking about these things on YouTube and stuff.
I agree with you. I think it would have been better if they could have just locked up J.J. Abrams from the beginning. I think I love Force Awakens, and then Rian Johnson came in with Last Jedi and messed things up really badly, and then J.J. Abrams had to try and fix it, but it was just too messy by that point. So I did like the very end. I really liked the whole Rey kind of taking on the Skywalker name and having the lightsaber and being on Tatooine and all that. The very last scene I liked, which is why I decided to focus my ending on her. But overall, not my favorite.
I also wish they hadn't introduced the whole thing where in the opening scroll it's talking about Palpatine. The voice of Palpatine has been heard.
Right.
The way they did that was they had that voice show in Fortnite, that popular game that all the kids are playing. I was thinking, well, if it's going to be part of this film, maybe have something, people around the galaxy hearing that voice.
Right. Yeah.
Show, don't tell.
Right. I agree. All right. We have another comment from a listener who is somebody I know is just poking fun at me, but I'm going to share it anyway. It's from Ryan, who says, Mike, your beard is coming in nicely. Obviously, Phil has the beard here. I am not a bearded type. I'm not good at growing a beard, and I don't like having a beard. So I'm going to keep it clean shaven. So thank you.
It's smooth.
All right, so there you go. So that's after the ending of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Now,
hold on, wait. If anybody else though has any ideas of how they felt the film would carry on afterwards, feel free to share it in the comments now or wherever this is posted.
Yeah,
just
love to hear them.
Who you'd like to see the adventures follow on out of all the people who are in there, or where would it go in the next trilogy if there is ever another Star Wars film trilogy?
I don't think this is the last we've seen of Star Wars in the movie theaters.
Yeah. We will see.
A little too popular for Disney to just be like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah, we'll see. I just hope it's a good one.
Yeah, I hope so too. Well, I think what they're going to do is they're going to put out their 15 TV shows that they have on the schedule and see which one of those is the most popular, and then just make a movie out of that.
Yeah. There was some casting news today about the new Kenobi show as well.
I saw that,
which is looking good.
Yeah, very cool, very exciting. All right, so let's get into our next topic, shall we? Then this is the second half, if you will, of our A plot episode, which is we're going to pick a current movie topic or something people are talking about, and we're going to talk about it because that's what you do on YouTube talk shows, right? And today we are talking about the Zack Snyder Justice League cut, all 4 hours of it.
Yes, in some ways 4 long hours, but also some very quick hours as well. I thought the first half was just flew by, and the second half went slowed down a bit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But we're going to talk more about this anyway.
What's that?
We're going to talk more about it now anyway.
Yes. So spoilers, although not really, I guess, for the Justice League Snyder cut. If you haven't seen it yet, we're going to talk about it. But I mean, it's kind of the same movie as the original. So if you saw Justice League,
it's the same plot,
major beats,
the same main beats as well in there. So.
Yeah. So, what'd you think, Phil?
I quite enjoyed it, to be honest. The Joss Whedon cut of it, I thought was messy and just didn't look right, and just went didn't enjoy it. But this one, it still doesn't feel like the actual heroes I know from the comic books. But it was the story was told a lot better. The action scenes were spaced out. The big chase scene at the start in Themyscira, where the Amazonians are trying to get the mother box away from Steppenwolf. I really enjoyed that. I think it seemed to be about 10 minutes longer, I think, from the original one, but that just worked well. But all the action scenes were a lot better, and it was very desaturated all the way through. But that seemed to fit with the whole general Zack Snyderish tone of the film.
Right.
Yeah. What about you? What were your main?
Here's the thing I've noticed. It seems like I liked the original film just fine. I don't think it was great, but I enjoyed it and I was good with it. Here's what I've noticed. I think most people that I know who did not like the film originally seem to think this cut is way, way, way better. Everyone who I know who was like this version is great didn't like the original version. Everybody I know who liked the original version mostly seems to feel like this version is just longer. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I liked this version, I guess. I liked it as much as I liked the first one. Like, there's definitely some parts that are a little bit better, a little more fleshed out. But to me, it just didn't feel like that different of a film. And I know that people get on me for that because they're like, oh my gosh, it's completely different. I'm like, I guess. I felt like I remembered most of it except for a few key sequences. Mm-hmm. I did feel like it's like, 30% more grimacing, Justice League now with 30% more grimacing because it's a Zack Snyder cut. Yeah. Fun drinking game. Take a shot every time any of the heroes goes like this to get ready to fight a bad guy. Just kidding. Don't do that because you'll die. Yeah. Because it happens about 472,000 times in the film.
Nothing like telegraphing your actions to the bad guy.
Yeah. I mean, like literally every time anybody even like coughs in the wrong direction, they're like, it's hero pose, So, it's funny is I liked it overall, but I had a ton of nitpicks with it, a ton of.
I do as well. I mean, it's still messy, but I think the main difference between the two cuts is a load more Cyborg. We get to see more about his origin and his relationship with his dad. Yeah, and just his abilities and powers as well. He was. I did like seeing more of him. I thought he did it really well, and it was good seeing exactly what he could do, and I felt he was more like him and the Flash were kind of like the heart of the team. Mm-hmm. The more human side of the team, because Zack Snyder, I mean, he loves the superheroes, but he always seems focused on making them these godlike creatures.
Right.
Whereas the reason why we like the superheroes is, despite their powers, they do have a human side. We like the human side, whereas we don't. I always feel the Zack Snyder heroes, we don't quite get the human side of it. It's always like, oh, there's the human side. Now let's get to this big, get them standing there grimacing or, posing on top of a building. Yeah. Making sure they're just right there where the sun is either in front of them or behind them.
Right. Exactly. I mean, yes, I enjoyed the extra Flash stuff. The extra Cyborg stuff was fine. I really hate the way Cyborg looks. I really do. I don't understand. I hate the way a lot of the characters look, I'll be honest with you. I don't understand DC's fascination with gluing little bits on everyone. They were like, okay, if we take Cyborg and instead of just making him look like a robot, we glue thousands of little triangles and squares all over him to make him look like he's made of polygons. then he'll look cooler somehow. And all I because it doesn't make any logistical sense whatsoever. I wish, and I'm not one of those people who's like, it needs to be more like the comics, overall for most movies, right? I don't care when they change stuff for the movies, but like in just the pure design sense, I wish they had gone with a little bit more of the comic book design where he's still got some human parts. He's got an arm and a human leg, and then he's just got like metallic stuff. Like in the movie, it's literally like this much of him is human and everything else is cyborg, And
it was very busy, the design.
Yeah, it just looks terrible. I hate it. I know Batman's costume looks ridiculous. It makes Ben Affleck look he's like 7 foot wide, not in a good way. Darkseid, like he's all wrinkly, and then his armor also has like thousands of little pieces on it. And then Steppenwolf, who they were like, hey, let's make him like a hyperactive porcupine with thousands of little spikes all over him. Like what? I don't understand why DC has to like just.
It was it looked like an uncomfortable onesie,
right? It doesn't make any sense. And you look at, and I hate to always compare them to Marvel, but you look at like how Iron Man looks, the Iron Man costumes, like they're, they have some pieces, but they're pretty smooth and sleek, like real armor would be. And then you get something like Cyborg, and he's just like this mass of odd shapes, and you're just like, why do you do that? It just bothers me.
Yeah, no, but I know exactly what you mean. It's over-designed in many places, and I think because don't get me wrong, I do like some Zack Snyder movies, but he just. I think sometimes you could do with people going, no, let's tone that down a bit. But then you get into the whole thing with the studio interference and stuff like that. But I like the way. What's interesting with the team, the Justice League in particular, is it's all either orphans or they're, distance from their parents and things like that. So it's good seeing how this group of damaged people that way, the way they, well, not that you're damaged if it's like that, but they've got these. They haven't got the emotional support that some other people would have, but they still go out there, make sure they do the right thing, and it's interesting how he sort of focuses on that and taking into account what Zack Snyder went through on a personal level as well. Yeah, I get the feeling, despite it being all big superheroes and things like that, it's still also quite a personal film for him. I think there's lots of personal elements within that, even though that might be overshadowed by the costumes and the big action scenes as well. I think somewhere in there is, I think Zack Snyder may use some of his films as like a catharsis kind of thing. Sure. Personally, I'm glad he did get a chance to complete it and get out there.
Well, yeah, I agree. And I'll say this, at least if you're going to go to all the trouble to do this and to market it and make a big hubbub about it like DC and HBO Max did, at least it was worth watching in terms of it being a different film. You see these director's cut coming out on home video, and it's like, ooh, director's cut with never before seen footage. And it's like 47 seconds of extra footage. And you're like, come on, really? I couldn't even tell it was different. There's an hour and a half of different movie here. I mean, it's almost, there is a lot of other, for as much as I say it's not different, at least you do watch it and you get a sense of like, okay, this is worth my watching just to see what's different. Love it or hate it. There's different stuff to it. It's not a complete waste of my time. I do think, I don't know that any movie needs to be 4 hours long, personally.
Well, that's the way it was cut up with the chapters. They were roughly around about the half-hour mark each time, I think.
Yeah, I guess.
I think it would have worked better as a HBO Max miniseries, like it was rumored to be at one point.
Right. I do want to know, like, what was up with the songs in like the first hour of the film, though, because they were some of the worst songs I've ever heard in a movie in my entire life.
Well, I think every film should have an Icelandic woman singing with no subtitles.
I thought that was
Zack Snyder after a hero and smelling their jumper.
Right. I thought that was Zack Snyder being like, okay, we want to make this epic. How can I make it more like The Hobbit? I know, more singing, and we'll make it 4 hours long. Perfect. But then some of those other songs were just like, there was the one that was like, our gods will outlive us, or whatever. It was horrible. Like, what? They were like, it's not often that a movie, like a song in a movie is so bad it's distracting. But some of the songs in the first half of the film were like legit distracting. I was like, what is happening right now? Why are they playing these god awful songs? I don't get it. It was very strange.
That's true. But yeah, I give it. I said it's definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it. As you say, it's nice having a director's cut where there's something substantial. It's like when you see The Abyss.
Yes,
the actual cut, and then you see the director's cut. You got a big chunk of other stuff which was hinted at, but you never ever saw.
Yeah,
and it's just that's what you want, as you say. You've 1 or 2 minutes added here and there throughout you go, oh, okay, I think that's different. But yeah, having something where you could sink your teeth in, whether it's good or bad, sometimes it's nice doing that. And if you're going to do a director's cut like this, you might as well go all in. I mean, you could have taken out, if you're watching it, you can just switch it off where it says epilogue. You can just then not watch any of that because it does have a good ending.
You're right, but I like
you get the hero shot and then. Oh, the epilogue. Yeah, what did you think of the epilogue?
I thought it was really cool, actually. I thought it was the best part of the new stuff. I mean, I liked the idea of this. You know, I liked that it's a possible future, right? It doesn't mean we're going to see this. But I did like the fact that there was like this handful of heroes. You know, I love the dialogue between Batman and the Joker. I don't really like Jared Leto's Joker. I didn't like the way he laughed much, but I did. What's that?
He looked better in this version.
For sure. I like the look of him a lot better. But I thought that was a neat little scene, and I like the idea of Superman being the big bad because of Lois. You know, whatever happened to her, obviously she died or something. So I thought that was actually really cool. Whether it would have set it up for a sequel or it was just a possible thing, I don't know. But I thought it was fun. I mean, I watched that part and I was kind of like, I'd been sort of sitting there watching it late at night, and then I kind of sat up a little. I was like, oh, well, this is interesting, So I thought it was cool. What about you?
No, I liked it as well. I did because I liked it in the Batman vs Superman, the dream flash forward or whatever you call it, that Batman had there. When with evil Superman was in as well. And I did like the team that Batman had at the end of Justice League. The fact we'd seen Lex Luthor hiring Deathstroke to kill Batman, and then there's the flash forward, and Deathstroke is now working with Batman against Superman and the and Darkseid's a lot.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was cool. I also really liked the addition of the Martian Manhunter because he's one of my favorite characters. I don't like the fact that he was Martha Kent because I feel like it took away from the impact of the scene between Martha and Lois.
Yeah, I was going to say that because it's a good scene that, and then
but I liked at the end. I did like at the end that just that we get to see him. I thought his character design actually looked pretty good. I thought it was cool to kind of introduce him that way, and then see if we would get more of him if we ever got a sequel. So, but he's just a character that I love, so I was happy to see him, showing up in the film in some way or another.
Yeah, because it's he was a mainstay of the Justice League in the comics and the cartoons.
Yep.
Since very early on, wasn't he? So but on the whole, then, what did you?
I mean, I'd say it was like 3.5 stars out of 5, but I probably would have given the original cut like a 3 out of 5. I did like some of Joss Whedon's humor, which I think got a little bit lost. Again, 30% more grimacing. But overall, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I watched it over a couple nights because I don't have 4 hours in one shot to sit down and watch a movie usually. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not something I think I'm going to go back and watch again anytime soon. But I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching it. I'm glad I watched it. Like you, I'm not going to be watching it again within the next year or so. But I might dip into it now and again. I might do at some point. Might do Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Justice League when I've got a clear
hours to kill.
Yeah. But we'll see. But if you haven't seen it though, it's definitely worth giving it a watch.
Yeah, for sure. I do hope at some point in the future, though, we might someday get a Batman movie again where Batman doesn't sound like a lion who's roaring while gargling broken glass. That would be nice because every Batman since Christian Bale has been like, it's Ben Affleck talking like Ben Affleck. And then he puts the suit on and he's like, no, I'm going to fight because I'm Batman. And you're like, why does he sound like that? It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
It even sounded like it wasn't just him doing a gravelly voice. It sounded like some kind of distortion on it as well.
Yeah, but it's like if you're going to do something distorted, like make it sound distorted without making him just sound like he is literally gargling glass because it just sounds ridiculous. It's in every Batman movie now and it drives me nuts because it just sounds dumb and I can't take him seriously. That's just me. So maybe
it's a good point.
Hopefully for the Robert Pattinson film, because it's still early in his career, he will not have developed that yet. So
yeah,
he'll sound like a normal human, maybe.
And while I don't think we probably won't see any more of Zack Snyder's singular vision with regards to those heroes, but I hope at some point, because DC and Warner Brothers seem to be leaning into the whole multiverse, Elseworlds kind of thing. It'd be nice to see some of those actors portray those heroes again, maybe in crossovers with other things.
Yeah.
So with we'll have to, because I mean, they keep talking about this Flash movie they're going to make with Ezra Miller, but
right,
things seem to be moving forward. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I won't be sad to see Zack Snyder's vision gone from the DC universe. I don't really think he gets the characters, and I don't really think his I like this movie fine, and I've liked a couple of the other DC movies, but overall, the entire DC universe, the vision for it, the look of it, the feel of it, I just don't dig it for the most part. So my hope is that they'll sort of wash their hands of it at this point, kind of maybe start over and have a little more fun with the movies, and just make them feel more like good, comic book movies that are fun and enjoyable and not dark and gritty and, all this other stuff they just keep leaning into.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, right. All right, there we go. So there you go. So that is our take on the Zack Snyder Justice League cut. And as Phil will say, if you've got thoughts, please, add your comments either in the live broadcast or on, whatever platform you're watching this on later. And we'd love to hear what you guys thought about it. Although I think for the most part, it seems like people seem to really like it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So this is going to wrap up our A-plot episode. We're going to take a very quick break. And so we can split these up into 2 shorter episodes. When we come back in just a minute or two, we're going to do our top 5 and our ATE recommends. So if you're watching live, please stick around. And if you're not, then look for the next episode wherever you found this episode. So, okay, so there you go. So thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Mike Spring.
I'm Phil Edwards.
And we'll see you very soon. Take it easy.